Hello everyone, and welcome to the Anatomy of Knitting, episode 54, the one I'm entitling Busy, Busy, Busy. Today is December 11th, 2014. It is currently Thursday. The boys are in the creche, and I have done a whirlwind of cleaning because my family is to arrive on Sunday. I'm very excited about that, and I'm just trying to get the house ready for them. Mr. Ari, again, is very interested. As soon as I start talking, you might see a little tail pop up. Hopefully he won't mess with the laptop. The best way I've gotten the recording set up is that I have this little ottoman that you can use as storage and you can also sit on. I have two pillows on top of that ottoman, and then I have my laptop. And that's how I do our little recording here. So hopefully he won't hit you so you go moving. Let's see. The boys are at the creche today, and apparently Santa is supposed to visit them, so hopefully that will go well. And I have been very busy this week, mostly taking care of boys, and then also waiting for a plumber to show up who has not shown up nor contacted me, which is super awesome. Come on, sweetie. It's starting to move ya. Come on. And yes, I still have the cough. Isn't that crazy? It's been like 4 or 5 weeks and I still have this. Anyway, my phone is currently right here. Please forgive me if it goes off while I'm recording. I am waiting for a phone call. So Monday, over the weekend, I discovered that the boys' sink in their bathroom leaks when you run the sink for a while, which they're having a tendency to do now because, they've discovered faucets and that they have the power to turn it on and all that good stuff. So we notified our landlords because we don't own this house, we're renting. And the landlords contacted the plumbers on Monday. I got a phone call at about 9:30 on Monday saying, "Oh, hey, I'm going to another job in your village. I should be done around 11. And there's Ari. So I was like, cool, that's great. Just come on over. You don't need to call ahead, to make sure that we're here. We're going to be here all day. So it got to be 2 o'clock, and I had just put the boys down for their nap. And so I called the guy that had called me, and I said, don't come because, my boys are napping, and that's more important to me, the fact that they get proper rest. And he was like, oh, well, I got 40 minutes left on this job, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, just put us first in the queue tomorrow, please. And he was like, oh, I can't guarantee that. I have to talk to my boss. And I said, okay, well, whatever. I have an open period of time until 2, because that's when the boys go to sleep. And then I didn't hear anything yesterday. And so far I haven't heard anything today. And it is currently 11:13. I'm not very hopeful. It's a good thing this is an emergency. So anyway, enough of my rant about waiting for a plumber. It's just very frustrating when... I wouldn't be as frustrated if expectations were set, if somebody had called me and said, hey, we're not going to be able to make it until Friday or whatever, I'd be like, fine, that's great. Just let me know when I don't have to wait around my house, because being in a house all day with 2 toddlers is not fun, more than one day in a row. So, let's see. That's my little rant about waiting for a plumber. But let's get started. I have show notes here, which I meant to have open before I started recording. Here we go. I have some finished objects. I have work in progress. I wanted to talk about some things I've noticed about Christmas time around here in Ireland, and talk to you about a little bit of quilting as well. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to show you as a finished object is a sockhead hat. Oh, and see, I have the front window open, and thankfully the sun isn't too crazy yet. And you can see the sparklies. The sparklies. This is Wool and Vine Yarns, hand-dyed in Brooklyn, excuse me. This is her blitzed base, which is merino, nylon, and stellina, and it is in the Wicked colorway. That is a little more accurate representation of the color that you can see here. It's still a little bit washed out, but you can at least see the sparkles in the sunlight, which is really nice. And the sparkles are really pretty. I will put this on so you can see it. I have my hair up, so it might be a little weird. I kind of just have to pull it down a little bit. I am a lover of these sock head hats because it's just a nice use of the sock yarn when you don't have to knit socks. And it's big enough for my big noggin because, like I said before, I think I have a 23-inch head. I have a crazy big head. Let's see. I think I have a measuring tape in here. Yes. Knit more girls. All right. Big noggin is, yeah, this says 23 3/4 inches, but since I have the hat on, I'll take, I don't know, ½ inch off, so I'm 23 1/4 inches around, which is huge. Yeah, and so the sock head hat stretches to fit. It looks good if you have your hair all up. It looks good if you have your hair down. And it's just super comfortable. And I love, love, love how this turned out with the way that the skein worked out. I started knitting this because I thought it would look kind of like a Christmas tree with the sparkles. And I wanted to wear this for when we went to see Santa with the boys because, well, I'll get to that when I talked about Christmas here. And then a glamour shot of the top. Let's see if I can get that a little better. There we go. Again, still trying to figure out the best way to record. You know, around this time is good for me, but while the sun is out, it's not the best for the colors. So I'll leave the hat on because I love it so. And I know they have battery operated lights that I could use, but I don't want to I don't want to poke lights through the knitting. So it's just it's a really nice hat. It's comfy. I was a little concerned about the stellina being a little scratchy on my skin here, but so far I haven't felt it at all, or on my neck or anything. It's all comfortable, and the base it was really super nice to work with, and I can't say anything but good things about the yarn and the yarn base. So if you're looking to treat yourself, bam, Wool and Vine Yarns. One satisfied customer here. And I really wanted to cast on that second skein that I had, the is it Holly Jolly? I think it is Holly Jolly. Can't remember the colorway for sure, but it's another one of her Christmas colorways that she dyed special for this year. But I decided to cast on something from Sheep Spot, just so I'd have another company to talk about and love on. So that's finished object number 1. And then because I didn't have any quilts to hand bind this week, I got another knitting project finished. So the second finished object are these stockinette stitch socks. These are socks that rock lightweight in the Krabby McHappy Pants colorway. There's sock number 1. There's sock number 2. And this was the Hateful Hateful yarn that I just did not have fun knitting with. It had many instances of where one ply was knotted or pulled out from the rest of the skein, and just I had to cut and restart the yarn a couple of times, which was really frustrating and annoying, and I am not a satisfied customer with this skein of yarn. The quality of this skein seemed to be much more of a mill ends, but it wasn't a mill end. It was a regular price skein of yarn, so Not happy. Again, this is my regular sock recipe of 1 inch of ribbing, about, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches of cuff. I do a slip stitch heel because I just like the texture. I do the regular gusset, and then the foot until it fits, and then a toe. Bam. So, yeah, that's my sock. I'm glad that this is done. I'm thinking of trying another sock construction for my next pair of socks. Everybody's been talking about the Fish Lips Kiss heel. Fish Lips Kiss heel. Yeah, I think that's it. And so I've been intrigued to try that out. I know Christine from the Yarnings podcast, when I recorded with her about a month and a half ago, she was doing that on her candy corn socks. They were the candy corn socks. And it just looks like a really unique construction. And so I know it's a pay-for pattern on Ravelry. I think it's about $1.50 or something. It's not very expensive. And so I think my next pair of socks, I will use that. I haven't decided if it's going to be a top down or toe up. I tend to prefer top downs, just because that's what I like to do. I think it has to do with like casting on the toe. That always feels a lot more fiddly than just casting on the cuff. So I think that's why I like to do cuff down. So yeah, I think that's in the pipeline. Excuse me. So now that we've gone through all the finished objects, the next thing I'm going to talk about is a work in progress. And this is in my Michelle Stitches bag. That's Michelle with 1 L stitches. And it's completely reversible, which is super awesome. I love this bag. I think she just made these when she was going to Camp Kip as a fundraiser. I don't think she sews for profit anymore, at least. And oh no, I dropped the ball. There it is. So after I finished up the socks, I decided that I was going to cast on the Sheep Spot. This is her Sustainable Merino Fingering. And, ooh, there's the logo. Super cute logo. And this is the Gummy Bears colorway. It's got pinks and oranges and green and aqua and a teal. It's a super fun colorway. And I have just been too lazy to get out my ball winder, so I've been hand winding all my balls. I think my ball winder is up on the third. Well, here in Ireland, they start numbering the floors with the floor above me. So I would be on floor 0, and then there would be floor 1 and floor 2. When in the States, I'd call this floor 1, and then floor 2 and floor 3. So third floor, second floor, the top floor. I'll say the top floor. I think my ball winder and Swift are up there, and usually it's just I'm too lazy to go upstairs and go get those pieces of equipment. So that is the skein and the ball. I cast this on last night, and I'm doing ta-da, another sock head hat because it's going to be super cute. I was a little concerned that with my gauge, when I was casting on, that the colors were going to look a little too muddy. But I must learn to trust the dyer because they know what they're doing. And if you see, this kind of looks like it's going to end up spiraling. Let's see if I can hold this so you can see it at the same time. So it's got these pink bits that are spiraling up like that. And then the green bits that are spiraling up like that. Like so. And like so. Oh, it's going to be so cool. Again, I have to do the 2x2 ribbing for a certain amount. And then I get to switch to the stockinette stitch. I tend to not do this with patterns where I just find a pattern that I like and then knit a bunch of them. That's typically not me. But I don't have any hats, and it's getting it's chilly here in Ireland, and I need a hat, or I needed hats. So I think after this hat, I'll be done with hats for a while. But again, we'll see, because it's just it's a super nice way to use your sock yarn that you don't have to, wear on your feet. This hat is not going to wear out anytime soon, because I'm not going to be rubbing on it as I'm walking or anything like that. So that's my work in progress. Super excited about that. I haven't cast on the body of the sweater that I've been working on. It's not the Benton cardigan. I can't remember what it might be the Benton. Anyway, I haven't cast on the body yet. It's still just sleeves. Yep, so I told you that was the Gummy Bear colorway. It's her sustainable merino fingering, and I showed you the tag. And then if you wanted to check out Sasha's stuff, it's sheepspot.com. Let's see, Woolen Vine. She doesn't have her website on there, but I believe it's woolenvine.com. It might be Woolen Vine Yarns. Just Google Woolen Vine and it'll come up. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was the Christmas time things that I've observed around here. Some Christmas traditions that I've observed are, there's not a whole lot of peppermint stuff around here. I know back home in the States, I'd see a lot of peppermint things, like candy canes and that kind of thing. I haven't seen a single candy cane here. Let's see, what else? Oh, they have what's called mince pies. And just going from the terminology of other things in the grocery store, they call ground beef here mince. So when I want to find ground beef for tacos or something, I look for mincemeat. So when I saw these mince pies being advertised, I was like, oh whoa, what's in that? Is it like a sweet meat pie, which I suppose doesn't sound awful, but doesn't sound great either. But apparently, so I went to O'Cruly's, which is a little deli that's here in the village, and they make these chicken wraps that I like to get on a Friday when I don't after making lunch for the boys all week and myself all week. I like to do something that's a little easier on Fridays. So I go and I get lunch for myself at O'Cruly's. And if I showed you the spelling of O'Cruly's, here, let me see if I still have the picture on my phone. I don't know if I do. My husband had to ask somebody how it was pronounced. Let's see, temporary. No, it's not there. Yeah, I think I cleared it off of my phone. Yeah, I did. It doesn't look the way it's pronounced. So I went there to get my usual Christmas or chicken wrap, and I saw that they were advertising, learn how to make a Christmas dinner at the local hotel. We're running this like educational thing, and and one of the things that they listed that they would teach people how to make was a mince pie. And so I asked the person working the counter, I said, well, I'm obviously not from here. What exactly is in a mince pie? And it turns out she didn't know what was in a mince pie. And then she asked a couple of the other employees who didn't know. And I was like, okay, well, you don't have to like go out of your way to find out. I can like Google it when I get home. Is it savory or is it sweet? And they were telling me it was sweet. And then one of the other customers was overhearing the conversation, and it's a sweet pie, and it's made out of chopped up dried fruit. So kind of imagine, I'm trying to think of something that's similar that more people would know. I can't really think of anything. It's not like a fruit cake. Because it doesn't have the cake part, but it's dried up raisins, which they call sultanas here, I think. I'm not sure if those are like the same thing. They look the same. So yeah, dried up raisins and cherries and I think apricots as well. And then they bake it in a pie crust. I think there's a little bit of binder that binds it all together, but I'm not exactly sure what that is. And so mince pies are pretty popular here. They had a couple of bite-sized ones, which I purchased, so my husband and I could try it out, and so we could embrace the local culture. Excuse me. And they weren't our favorites. I don't think we'll go out of our way to have them in our house for Christmas. I mean, they were good. They were sweet, but I'm not really a pie person anyway. I'm more of a cake person. So, yeah, I think I'll pass if I see mince pies. But if you see them in anywhere you are, I suggest to totally try them out. I can see why they're popular, but they're just not for me. Let's see. Oh, the other thing that I found is that is a little bit different here is going to see Santa. And if you have any kids that can overhear this or are watching, go ahead and escort them out or pause this and save this for a time when they're not here. So I'll give you a moment to do that. So the Santa's grottos here in Ireland, I've seen 2. It's more I think of an experience here. You can't see Santa from, just the shopping area. And the 2 that I've seen are in little shopping malls. We've got one in the village, and then there's one that is in a shopping center called at Mahon Point, which apparently I say wrong, but I say everything wrong here. I think I'm not saying it. I think it's more Mahon instead of Mahon, but whatever. So you can't see Santa from the shopping area like you typically can in the States. You can walk by, see Santa, with kids on his lap, and you can determine, whether or not you like that Santa or not. And then all of the Santas that I've seen here have fake beards. There's no real bearded Santa, which kind of bothers me. I'm very picky about my Santas. The boys have not yet gone to see Santa this year. I think I'll put Santa's picture, let's see, right there. Super cute and such a good Santa. I'm very picky about my Santas. They always have to have real beards because, it just looks a lot more magical when there's actually a real man with a real beard. And yeah, I just, the fakeness. I was seeing something on the internet about, apparently there was a Santa that rappelled down from the ceiling in the shopping mall, and I guess his fake beard got caught in the rappelling equipment, and then all of his accoutrement up here came off, and he was just this regular man who was stuck trying to rappel down because his beard was caught in the rappelling equipment, and it just was very awkward and very sad, and I'm very picky about my Santas. I know it's a silly thing, but I think it's just more magical for a little kid to see someone who, commits. Commits is not really a great word, but, the older men who grow out their beards and maintain the Santa look all year, it just makes the whole experience much better, So we're going to go see Santa on the 20th, so in 9 days. We have tickets to, it's it's whole experience that we're doing. There's a train involved and an elf workshop involved, and it's just this whole huge experience, and I think it's going to be really fun for the boys. But I've also seen a picture of the Santa, and he does not have a real beard. And why you'd go to all that trouble to make it such a magical experience, and then not be able to find anybody that, like, it's hard for me to believe that there's no older man in this country who wants to be Santa during the holidays, and so grows his beard. I mean, it's just hard to believe that there's nobody that's willing to do that, or not that many people who are willing to do that. I would do that if I were an old man and had the white hair. I just think it would be, like, I could see the downsides of doing the job, The kids could be smelly, and, I'm sure some of the kids are not pleasant to be around. But it's like nursing. The bad parts of the job are outshined by the good parts of the job. Making that experience truly magical for a little kid is just, I have to imagine. I mean, I can't, I can't ever be Santa because I'm a woman. Well, I can't ever be a bearded Santa because, hey, I don't grow facial hair, and I like the thought of making things magical in this era where in a lot of things the magic has been taken away. So I am pro beard for Santas. Anyway, I'm full of these weird rants apparently this month, and I apologize for that, but be pro beard with me. Another thing I wanted to talk about, because there still might be time for those of you in the States. My husband and I have used Shutterfly for some of our Christmas gifts. My mom watches the podcast, so I can't really tell them or show them to you until after Christmas because she watches. But we have done a calendar each year for, like, my family and his mom and his sister, and it's just one of those wall calendars that you can hang up, and then it's got the boys' pictures on it. And so what we've tried to do is take pictures for January from the previous January. So it's just a nice little gift, and it's when you shop at the right time, it can be a lot more affordable. If you keep an eye out on their site, they run frequent sales. I ended up purchasing around Thanksgiving. It might have been before Thanksgiving. I'm not exactly sure. But everything on their site was half off. So I ended up getting everybody's calendars. I got an ornament for us. I got a desk calendar for Bernie and for my father. And then I got something else from my mom. And then the same thing for me. I'm not going to tell you because it's super, like, I got it 2 days ago and it's so awesome and I just want to show you. But she watches, so I can't. And I can't even tell you what it is. But it's it looks so good, and I just can't wait to show you. So I'm a complete fan of Shutterfly. Check them out. I believe it's shutterfly.com. Let me just double check. Add the tab. Yep, shutterfly.com. Right now, it's 72 hours only, 40% off everything. The sale ends today. So I'm 8 hours ahead of the west coast of the United States. So, and it says get it there by Christmas plus get free shipping. And you can do Christmas cards. You can do all sorts of prints. You can do like canvas prints that you can hang up on the wall. There's iPad cases. There's iPhone cases. There's all sorts of things. Check it out. Great quality. I really enjoy giving those types of presents to my family. And then my other tip for holiday crafting is to get started earlier, because I am all done with my Christmas crafting. Woo! Because I get my stuff out of the way here. Finished my other son's quilt. This is Malcolm's quilt. Of course, I folded it the wrong way, or the harder way. He has a thing for monkeys, so I made him another monkey quilt. There you can see the monkeys. And with this project, I learned how to do directional borders. So all of the monkeys are facing the right way. And then it's just, let's see. Yeah, that looks like it would look good. It's just all these different prints, very colorful, green, orange, brown, blue. And then I ended up quilting. Let's see if I can find a good, there we go. These spirals, and they're branching spirals, or at least the best way I could do branching spirals, because I'm still learning. And so you'd kind of do a spiral, and then after you got to the center and you were coming back out, you'd stop and then do another spiral from that. So you can kind of see, it's a little bit easier to see on the back, at least. So like, yeah, see, these two are, and then this little tiny spiral branches off from that one. So that's that. And I did it with a lime green embroidery thread on the front, because I wanted you to be able to see the quilting that I did on the front. And then I just used a regular white thread on the back. And with my tension, you can kind of see the green threads occasionally, but it's not too bad. And I'm really happy with the way the quilting came out, and it's already washed and dried and looks good. So all of my Christmas quilts are finished, and 2 of them are wrapped. This one will need to be wrapped, and then I'll be done. So that's all I have to show you today. Looks like the light has changed a bunch in the whole recording. I will do my best to record when my family is here. I probably will just record once, because I may not have a whole bunch of progress on anything, because I'll be hanging out with them. So if I don't see you before the holidays, I wish you a happy holiday season for whatever you celebrate, or if you don't celebrate anything at all. I wish you a happy new year, and hopefully I'll see you, but just in case. And yeah, I'm on Instagram as EKSRN2002. I'm on Ravelry as KnittingRN. Let's see. I'm on Facebook, but I don't really post. I only post like family stuff on Facebook, not really knitting stuff. And so if you want to keep up with me over the holidays, that's the best way. Instagram, I look at least every day, and post at least every other day. And yeah, I think that's it. So I will do my best to see you next week, but we'll see. And until then, have a great week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Bye.
Where's Cow?
My gosh.
Go home.
Go, yeah. Go, go, go. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, I got. I got. Oh, bye. Yummy, yummy. I come.
All right. It's time to read our books and get ready for night-night.